Well, good morning. I'm Candace Rastidi. I'm the Dean of Internship and Career Planning for Gloucester and Cumberland. Do any of you know Rita Rios? Okay, so she is the director for Cumberland, and she is not here with us today. She got married yesterday. Yeah. So we're one team, so we're just here, running it for Cumberland this morning. But she's in this building. In the administrative section, like where the colleges are. Rita has an office in there. And after today, when you all apply and sign up, she's going to be your point person to help you with your internship or any of the other resources that we offer. So that's me, that's Rita, and then go ahead if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Kristen White. I'm Rita's counterpart. I'm on the Gloucester campus.
And I'm Jalen Dixon. I'm the student recruiter, so I serve both the Gloucester and Cumberland campuses. So you'll be hearing a lot from me. Hello.
So she does the student piece, and she's going to help you with your resume and prepare for the interview. And then Rita is working on just bringing in the employers and helping you schedule the interview. And then make sure that the match happens, and then you get registered, and then the class, and all those things. We're going to talk in just a minute a little more deeply about all the things that the internship kind of is going to bring out for you, where you're going to find value. And so we're actually going to play a Kahoot. So does everybody have a phone? Does anybody not have a phone? That should be the question, right? I never get that hand. But if you didn't get one of these, this is our resource sheet, right? And so if you look, it's ready or not. If you're ready for an internship, you're going to scan this yellow QR code. And if you're not ready for an internship, because maybe you're not sure what your major is going to be. Maybe you think, you want to be a computer graphic artist, right? How many of you are computer graphic artist majors in here? Right, the whole class, good, except for a couple people. Actually, so you're not in this class, so what is your major? Yeah.
Psychology.
Psychology, and what about you two?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, very cool.
Management.
What is it?
Management.
Management, in business?
Yes.
Okay. But so maybe, and this is just a very high level of our resource, we're gonna actually have another event like this on Wednesday morning to talk about the focus too. If you are a computer graphic artist, or you're in management or psychology or cybersecurity, what does that mean? I don't know, right? You're going to get a degree and work where? And what's your title going to be? And how many more degrees do you need? Where can you live to make sure that you get a job in that field? And how much are you going to earn? What skill is it going to require most for you to be the best in management that you can be? What colleges are going to take all your credits so you can transfer and get your 4-year degree? We have the answer to all those questions. That's what this or not QR code is for, right? Because we're all pretty sure what we think we want to do, but there's so many more questions and so many more answers. So it's awesome that you're in college, and it's awesome that you've picked a direction. We just want to help you path that direction and make sure that you get to the right ending place, and there's lots of ending places on the path. But the ready part is the internship Career Connections program, when you're ready for an internship. And I know for all the CGA majors, it's a class that you can take that is required for graduation. And so it's really great that you're here today, because instead of, you're welcome to join us.
Yes.
Instead of, this is Jim Picone.
How are you?
The Vice President, finish your title.
Of the Cumberland campus.
There we go.
The abbreviated
It's a lot longer than that. That's
It's a
basically
lot
what I
longer.
do.
Yeah. Well, you haven't missed anything. You can get your phone out and play the Kahoot with us. And whoever beats Jim Picone is the real winner today.
Okay. So we got a cup of coffee
Yeah,
so I
do
can
it,
keep
do
up
it.
with the students.
But so if you're thinking, as a computer graphic artist student, when you get ready to graduate, how many classes do I have left? What do I still have to take? The Internship Career Connections program is a class that you can take and get paid. It's an internship. Instead of taking any other kind of elective, right? So the goal of it is to be able to take something that's career match instead of a class, that may or may not be as beneficial towards your degree. Okay, so if you have your phone, we're gonna play the Kahoot because I'm gonna give all the answers away if I keep talking. So we gotta get into the game. The way you play is when I hit play, question's gonna come up and there's 4 different blocks for an answer.
Okay.
And so you're gonna pick the block where you think the answer is. And then I'm gonna talk about the answer and then we'll see who scored the most. 3, 2, 1. The first question is, what is the basic need to know for the internship program? Can you guys see that?
Can you read those, Candace?
It is 3-credit course with 150 working hours, free resume review and interview preparation, tuition costs but no books or fees, or all of the above. And then it is a class, right? So there is tuition tied to it. But you can check with your financial aid. If you have it as a class that's required, financial aid usually covers it. Something you definitely want to check into because it is a tuition cost. But there's no books, there's no fees, there's no tests, no quizzes, right? The crux of your 3 credits is going to come from your working hours because that's the experience, that you're looking for. That's why you're taking the internship. Okay, so next we're going to see who scored first. All right, so who's Alex? Alex is winning right now. You're the one to beat. Okay. So, next question. Will I get paid for the hours I work at the internship? Yes or no? And look at how quickly everyone answered that. Okay, who said no? Nobody's brave enough? Okay, no, the answer is yes. All of our positions are paid. Come on in, join us. Grab some food first if you want to. So all of our internships are paid, right? You guys are creative and you're talented and you're hardworking college students that absolutely deserve to get paid for the time and effort that you're going to put in to working for one of our partner employers. And our employers recognize that. And so they want you to come in and work for them because you guys have the fresh, new ideas that they need. Whatever industry it is, right? You guys are culturally there, you know what people want to buy, and you have a totally different perspective. And so, that time and effort that you're going to put in needs to be valued and you need to be paid. And that's one of the things that we have our employers really understand for our students. And so, yes, all of our positions are paid through the program. Okay, so now let's see. Oh, now who's Nat? Okay, she beat you. Okay, next question. If I have had an internship, I will earn blank more on average after graduation. Will it be $15,000, $100,000, $10,000, or $5,000? So this is for after you've graduated. How much more are you going to make in your salary? Okay, I love when it's totally widespread. So the answer is actually 15,000. And this is a national number that has been researched and verified. They talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of employers to look at their employee base and do this as an internship question, right? To all the employees. And what they learned is that when you're getting ready to hire somebody, if you're talking to a person who's had an internship, that means they've already been trained, they understand the language, they have a little bit of experience, they have a degree, and you're going to offer them competitively to try to compete $15,000 more than somebody else because you're saving time, you're saving the investment a little bit on upfront from the manager who's going to train you. They're going to be able to explain things and you're going to get it faster because you're going to remember it. You've already worked in it and done it a little bit. You're going to come in with a project or a portfolio that you've completed and they're going to go, wow, this is awesome. This is the person that I want and I'm going to pay them more because I don't have to spend as long keeping them in training. And I also don't want them to go somewhere else, right? When you apply for a job, it's very competitive for you because, of course, you want to be the one that gets hired. It's also competitive for employers, and we know that right now, especially. Like, the job market is in high demand. They want all kinds of people. And so if you're coming out of here in a year or so, and you've had an internship, you can compete and you can negotiate for a higher salary. And this is what they're finding, that more often than not, interns are getting paid approximately $15,000 more than those people who came into the same job but didn't have an internship, right? Because that person is kind of starting at square one. Okay, so let's see how we rank. Oh, and now we have another new one. So who is Cindy? Okay, this is some good fun competition, right?
So Candace, could I give a real life experience?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So two of my three children started off at the community college, and we didn't have internships at that time. But when they went to their 4-year institution, the last 2 years, I encouraged them to do internships. So my son went to NJIT, and one of the professors had a firm. He went for architecture. So he started his internship with that company, Grow, and he worked there for 7 years. So after he graduated, they hired him based on that internship. He worked there 7 years. He said he's in California now, but my daughter, she just finished school, and she actually had an internship her junior and senior year, even during the pandemic, and the company hired her as well. So, success story. So I really, even if it's an investment for you, if you don't have the funds to pay for the course, we have the foundation. You could always go to our foundation, and they could help you possibly pay for that course. So it's super important to have an internship.
Yeah, we have scholarship funds from the foundation. We have scholarship funds if your school counts. And then, if it's in your degree as a requirement, then whatever financial aid situation you have, we'll pay for that. But if you're not using financial aid, if you're just paying to come here and do this, let us know and apply, because we will do really what it takes to try to help make sure that if you're hired and we have an employer that really wants you to come work there, we as the college, we want you to be able to be mentored and have that supervisory opportunity both in the class, and working. So we have the foundation and a lot of people that are behind this program that will make it work so that you can take it. Okay. So the next question. What percentage of students get hired immediately after an internship at RCSJ? So is it 36, 44, 23, or 67? Okay, so 44% is the amount of the average percentage, and this is really a Gloucester and Cumberland combined number for the amount of students that get placed after they've had an internship. And so what that means is that usually when you're getting ready to graduate, it's springtime, right? So this is a typical situation, and you've completed your internship, you're graduating, and maybe you're going on to a 4-year school, maybe you're not. But that summer, the employer says you should just stay and work here. And a lot of students stay for the summer, and then we're also finding that a lot of students stay after the summer, right? Because a lot of students do transfer. They go to Rowan, or they go to Rutgers Camden, or maybe they go to Wilmington University, because there's Wilmington University on this campus and online. And so the employer says, you should just stay. Let me give you 20 hours a week. Sometimes you graduate and they get a full-time job. There are a good handful of students. One of our graphic artist students, she does Luke's food truck for the Eagles at the stadium. She redesigned all of their trucks. And so every time, they decide, not that they're gonna change their logo, but they're gonna put like a new slogan on there, she works with the marketing team, and she goes in and she participates in part of that redesign. And she still works there full time after 4 years of graduation. And so that's what happens. This is an opportunity for you to show during your internship hours how valuable you can be, and then the employer wants to keep you. If you don't get offered the position, maybe they're not hiring, but you're in a network now, and everybody in the chamber here, right, the group of employers that are in Cumberland County or in Gloucester County, they all know each other. And so maybe they're not hiring, but they know someone else who is. In the class, you're going to get a recommendation letter from the employer. They're going to make a phone call on your behalf. maybe a month or two goes by and, you know, their friend at the chamber is hiring and it's just having a conversation with the person you worked for. They're gonna say, I know exactly who you wanna call. They're going to give them your number and your email and that recommendation letter and your resume because you've already worked there, right? And so that's how things start to happen and grow and build. So this is a really good opportunity at 44%. Or, you know, you're hanging in there and eventually you're gonna get that call or you're gonna take that recommendation letter when you're applying for other places and it's gonna give you that boost that you need to be able to get a job. Okay, let's see who's winning now. Cindy is still holding the line. Very good. Okay, I think we just have a couple more questions. Okay, so nationally, graduating students get hired what percentage of time or what percentage amount than those who have not graduated? Or, I'm sorry, than those who haven't completed an internship. So this is, the other one was the RCSJ number and this is the national number. Okay, so the answer is 72%. Right, so we're fitting in at 44%, but say you take your recommendation letter and you've had this internship, maybe you get the 4-year degree, maybe you don't. But there are other places all across the country that you can go and look at and consider moving to. And just because you had an internship here doesn't mean that doesn't count somewhere else, right? It goes with you everywhere. And as I mentioned earlier, if you take, it's called Focus 2. If you take that assessment and it shows you your skills and abilities and the couple different titles that make sense for a job description that fits who you are, it also tells you where those jobs exist all across the country and what the rates of pay are and which areas hire more often for those types of jobs. So all of that feeds into the internship that you took here. It's going to stay with you everywhere. Okay. Let's see if somebody beat this time. Oh, did it do it? I didn't see the calculation go. Was that the number from last time?
I think so.
It didn't move because why?
No one got the answer.
Oh, no one got the correct answer. Oh, I didn't see that. Good observation. Who was that? All right, so Cindy, you're still winning. Okay. So what is the primary benefit of taking an internship at a 2-year institution? So, is it ensuring you're in the right major, less competition at a 4-year, increased networking opportunity, or all of the above? Everyone should get the right answer here. It's just who gets it faster, right? Okay, yes, it is. All of those things. So I've already talked about increased networking opportunity, but the 2 things that I will add to this is you want to make sure that you're in the right major. And for those of you who have heard this before, you have to forgive me because I share the same story every time. We have a lot of students who are very mathematical, very analytical, and they want to be an accountant. And they get out and they do an internship, and that can sometimes be a little dry and mundane. Nothing against accountants, because we need them, right? And so then they're sitting in office, they're collating papers, they're reviewing, they're crunching numbers in Excel, and they're like, wow, this is all I do. And they're a little bit bored. And so they're like, maybe I don't love this. Maybe I have the skill and I have the ability to do what it takes to do that type of job, but that job is not actually exciting. It's not what I think I want to do. I'm not really passionate about it the way I thought it would. It's a good career track, right? You're going to make a lot of money. It's got valuable parts to it, but it's not quite for you. Again, if you take the Focus 2, right, it's going to help you ensure that you're in the right major, because marketing, right, has a data analytics type of job in it, where you're using the same skill and ability, you're crunching the numbers, but you're working for a company where you're talking to a lot of people, right? And the whole culture is very different. And you're out with people all the time, and you're learning about what they do and how they do it and why that works. And you're analyzing it that way. And you're using Excel and making some reports, but the whole setting is entirely different. And that might be more for you. So when you take that assessment, it asks you all those type of kind of deep and personal questions that we don't see or the answers to, we just see the results. But it helps you figure out what you are passionate about, what does excite you, what makes sense for your personality and your background and your experiences. And it helps you see, I would be maybe a little more inclined to do this, this, or this, right? And so that assessment or having an internship is going to make sure that you're in the right major. And that's important at a 2-year school because it's less expensive to come here, right? And it's really expensive to go to a 4-year school in the wrong major and then have to change your career later, go back and get another degree, not be happy, not be satisfied, right? That's really, really expensive. So you want to do this now and make sure that you're following the right career path. And it is less competitive at a 4-year school for 2 reasons. What's the first reason that it's probably less competitive at a 2-year than a 4-year? How many people go to the 2-year school versus the 4-year school? Do you guys all need coffee? There are thousands and thousands of students at Rowan, right? And there are hundreds and hundreds of students at the 2-year school. And that's true of most 2-year schools, right? The 4-year university, they have more students than the 2-year school, often, not everywhere. And so when you're competing for an internship, the likelihood of you getting one is greater at the 2-year school because you're not competing against thousands and thousands of students. The other reason is because when you're at the 2-year school and you've had the internship, now you're going to go to the 4-year school and you're probably going to get hired in an internship there too because you've already had one. So the same way you get hired more often, like in the regular employer world because you've had an internship, if you're at a 4-year school, you're going to get picked more often to do an internship because you've had the experience, right? You know what you're doing. It takes them less time to bring you on. You're showing them that project or portfolio that you've worked on. And then we've already talked about the network ability. So it is all 3 of those things. All right, I think we're down to the final 2. Okay, and Sydney is holding strong. All right, Antonio, where are you? You got to come up like 500 points. Can you do it? Let's see. Okay. Question 7. Okay, internships are only for certain majors, yes or no? Click, hit the button. Okay, exactly, no. So there's CGA, there's psychology, we've got business in here, and cybersecurity. All of you guys are eligible for the internship to apply, right? And we're gonna give you the website in just a few minutes so that you can apply. So you can tell your friends, right, that are in all different majors. We have hundreds of employer partners that are all looking to take internships. And so it's every major, every skill set. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, still holding it. All right, this is our last question. What happens next? Okay. Who are the people who said apply? Did you put your hand up? Yeah. Okay. So the next step is really to apply. This is just to kind of show you the process. You want to apply. We're going to help you create your resume and make sure that it is perfect and ready to go and polished. We're going to give you some interview preparation and send you out on interviews. And then getting placed is the last part, right? So if you walk out of here and try to go register for the class in the spring, it's a closed course, you can't get in. You have to apply, we have to check and make sure you have the right GPA, that you're over 18, you have at least 24 credits. Then you have to have a polished resume. Our employers want to see it. This is trying to mirror just like the real world. So they're going to look at the resumes of everybody who applies and decide who they want to interview. We're going to help you go through that interview like I talked about earlier. And then, hopefully you're one of the people who gets picked. We send your resume, though, to more than one company, right? So we have a lot of different companies covering a lot of different majors, and then you'll register for the class and go through it. I do want to bring up the website, because you all have your phones out, and I would encourage you to apply, 1, because there's still like 20 minutes left, and 2, because even if you're not ready, maybe you only have 18 credits, or you're working on your GPA, as long as you're over 18, you can apply now, because we want to build our applicant pool. Because if you're not eligible today, that doesn't mean you can't get a summer internship. It doesn't mean that you can't get next fall. Who's graduating in the spring? Okay, so see, there's still time for all of you. But this will allow us to reach out to you. We'll know who you are. We can invite you to our other events. And it'll really make sure, that we stay in contact with you, especially if you want to take the Focus 2 assessment, or you want to attend anything else that we do. Because in the spring, we have what's called Backpacked Briefcase. It's just like this. It's not the information session, but we do a session on using LinkedIn, so you can learn how to network. We do a practice interview that is a lot of fun. There's lots of things that we're going to do, and that way we can, find you easily and invite you out to everything that we have to offer. So I've asked you guys 8 questions this morning, and I'm going to make each one of you ask me a question. Just kidding. But does anybody have any questions? Somebody has a question. Okay, well, let's see who actually won. I think we might all know. Oh, did it do it? It did, okay. Sarah was 3rd, Antonia was 2nd, and Cindy was 1st. So congratulations. I hope you enjoyed it. It was just kind of a more fun way to get you to learn about the internship program. There's a lot of bagels and a lot of fruit, but you should stay and fill out the application, or if you scan this will set you up to log in or make an appointment for the Focus 2. Did you have a question?
No, you have the half sheets in front of you. The other QR code will actually take you to the internship application.
Yes.
So the website has all of this information that Dr. Rasidi talked about. That QR code is the actual application for you to fill out.